The automotive world was shocked when a small part hidden deep inside a crashed Bugatti Chiron suddenly became the center of attention online. During the rebuild process of the damaged hypercar, automotive YouTuber Mat Armstrong and his team discovered something unexpected inside the vehicle's electrical system. The part they found carried a Mercedes-Benz label. For many viewers, this discovery sounded unbelievable. After all, Bugatti is known as one of the most exclusive and expensive car brands in the world. People spend millions of dollars to own one of these machines. So hearing that a Bugatti might use parts from another manufacturer instantly created debate across the internet. Some people felt disappointed, while others were simply curious about how common this actually is in the car industry. The discovery happened while Matt and his team were diagnosing problems connected to the Chiron safety system after a major accident. The team was investigating warning lights on the dashboard and checking the pyrofuse system, which is designed to disconnect the battery during a crash. When the housing was opened, the Mercedes-branded component became visible. That moment quickly became one of the biggest talking points of the rebuild series. Viewers immediately started asking questions. Why would a Bugatti use a Mercedes part? Is Bugatti secretly using cheaper components from other companies? Does this reduce the value of the car? Or is this actually normal in the automotive industry? These questions spread rapidly because Bugatti has always been marketed as a company that creates extremely special and highly engineered vehicles. The Chiron itself is considered one of the greatest hypercars ever built, with incredible speed, engineering, and luxury. Because of that image, many people expect every single part inside the car to be completely unique and custom-made. However, the reality of modern car manufacturing is much more complicated than most people realize. Even the world's most expensive cars often share suppliers, electronics, and hidden components with other brands. What Mat Armstrong discovered was not necessarily proof of cost-cutting, but it did pull back the curtain on how the automotive industry really works behind the scenes. To understand why this discovery became such a huge topic online, it is important to first understand what a pyrofuse actually is and why it matters so much in modern vehicles. Most people have never heard of a pyrofuse before because it is a hidden safety component that drivers never normally see. However, this small device plays a very important role during a serious accident. A pyrofuse is connected to the vehicle's crash safety system. When the car detects a strong collision and the airbags deploy, the pyrofuse activates instantly. Inside the device is a tiny explosive charge designed to physically cut the electrical connection from a battery. This may sound dramatic, but it exists for a very important reason. Modern cars contain powerful batteries and large electrical systems. During a crash, damaged wiring can create dangerous short circuits. Short circuits generate heat, and heat inside a damaged vehicle can quickly lead to fires. This danger becomes even more serious if fuel lines are damaged or leaking after the impact. In many crashes throughout automotive history, people survive the initial collision only to become trapped inside a burning vehicle afterward. Safety engineers work extremely hard to prevent situations like that. The pyrofuse helps eliminate the danger immediately by shutting down the electrical system before sparks and heat can spread to the damaged car. In the Bugatti Chiron rebuild, Mat Armstrong explained that the car had two separate pyrofuses. One controlled power to the starter motor, while the other controlled power to the entire electrical system. According to normal expectations, both pyrofuses should have activated during the accident because the airbags had already deployed. Surprisingly, neither one fired properly. This strange situation became a major mystery during the rebuild because it suggested something unusual had happened inside the Chiron safety system. Even Matt himself seemed confused by the behavior of the vehicle. That confusion added even more suspense to the story because viewers realized they were not just watching a normal repair video anymore. They were watching a deeper investigation into how one of the world's most advanced hypercars behaved during a serious crash. As the rebuild continued, Mat Armstrong and his team started comparing the Chiron safety system with vehicles from other manufacturers, especially cars built under the Volkswagen Group umbrella. Bugatti is owned by the Volkswagen Group, which also controls brands like Lamborghini, Audi, Porsche, Bentley, and Volkswagen itself. Because these companies share engineering resources, platforms, and suppliers, some level of shared technology between them is completely normal. In many Volkswagen Group vehicles, pyrofuses are designed to activate instantly during a crash. Sometimes they react so quickly that power is disconnected almost immediately after impact. However, the Bugatti Chiron behaved differently after the accident. Despite suffering major damage and deploying all of its airbags, the vehicle still retained electrical power. According to Mat Armstrong, the car could still be started and moved after the crash because the pyrophysicists failed to disconnect the system. This raised a very interesting question. Was the Chiron intentionally designed to behave this way? Could Bugatti engineers have chosen a different calibration for the pyrofuse system to allow limited movement after smaller accidents? Or was a failure simply caused by damage or a fault inside the specific car being rebuilt? At this point, nobody outside Bugatti truly knows the answer. The uncertainty surrounding the issue is one reason why viewers became so fascinated by the story. People love mysteries, especially when they involve ultra-expensive machines built by famous luxury companies. The suspense grew even stronger when Matt opened the pyrofuse housing and discovered the Mercedes-branded component inside. Suddenly, the conversation shifted away from crash systems and toward a much bigger topic about how luxury automotive companies source their parts. For some viewers, it felt shocking that a Bugatti could contain anything associated with Mercedes-Benz. Social media exploded with reactions, memes, and debates. Some people mocked the discovery, while others defended it by pointing out that shared suppliers are extremely common across the automotive world. The Rebuild series quickly became more than just a repair project. It became a discussion about branding, exclusivity, engineering, and the hidden reality of modern hypercars. Although many viewers reacted with surprise when the Mercedes-branded component appeared inside the Bugatti, automotive experts were much less shocked by the discovery. In reality, sharing suppliers and components between different manufacturers has been common practice in the car industry for decades. Building every single part from scratch for a low-production hypercar would be incredibly expensive and unnecessary. Instead, manufacturers often buy specialized components from outside suppliers that already have experience producing reliable systems. Even companies that compete against each other sometimes use the same suppliers for electronics, sensors, switches, safety systems, and software. For example, many luxury brands use infotainment systems, wiring modules, and electrical components that also appear in less expensive vehicles. This does not mean the car itself is cheap or poorly engineered. It simply reflects how modern manufacturing works. In fact, some of the most respected supercars in history have contained parts borrowed from ordinary vehicles. The original Pagani Zonda used climate control switches from a Rover. Early Lamborghini models used headlights from other mass-produced cars. Aston Martin once used Volvo interior components. Even McLaren and Ferrari have relied on shared suppliers for electronics and safety systems. These decisions are often made because certain suppliers specialize in very specific technologies and already meet strict safety regulations. Creating a completely custom version of a tiny electrical component may offer little real benefit, especially if an existing supplier already produces a reliable solution. In the case of Bugatti, the presence of a Mercedes-branded pyrofuse does not automatically mean the company simply grabbed random parts from another manufacturer. Large automotive suppliers sometimes produce the same component from multiple brands. In other situations, companies may source a specific module from another manufacturer because it already meets required performance standards. What matters most is how the entire system functions inside the vehicle, not necessarily the logo stamped on one hidden component. However, for ordinary viewers who dream about Bugatti as the ultimate symbol of exclusivity, seeing a Mercedes label inside the car created a powerful emotional reaction. Many people expect a multi-million-dollar hypercar to contain completely original parts from top to bottom. The discovery challenged that assumption and reminded audiences that even the world's most expensive cars still depend on a global network of suppliers and shared engineering solutions. Another major reason this story became so popular is because Mat Armstrong has built a reputation for exposing hidden truths about expensive cars during his rebuild projects. His videos are not just about fixing damaged vehicles. They are also about revealing what these luxury machines are really like underneath the bodywork. Many viewers enjoy watching his content because it feels honest and unscripted. Instead of polished marketing language from manufacturers, audiences see real problems, damaged components, confusing engineering decisions, and enormous costs involved in repairing modern supercars. This type of content makes viewers feel like they're seeing secrets that normal owners or dealerships would never show publicly. In the Bugatti rebuild, Matt's reactions made the discovery feel even more dramatic. When he opened the Pyrofuse housing and found the Mercedes component, the moment felt genuine rather than planned. That authenticity helped the clip spread rapidly online. People trust creators more when reactions appear natural and spontaneous. The rebuild also highlighted another important reality about modern hypercars. Even though these vehicles are engineering masterpieces, they can still be extremely difficult and expensive to repair after accidents. Throughout the series, Mat Armstrong repeatedly encountered problems involving electronics, warning lights, damaged systems, and unavailable parts. Some components required complex programming procedures, while others were incredibly expensive to replace. This showed viewers that owning a hypercar is very different from simply admiring one online. Behind the beauty and performance lies an extremely complicated machine filled with advanced technology. The Pyrofuse issue perfectly demonstrated this complexity. A tiny safety device most drivers have never heard of suddenly became one of the most important parts in the entire rebuild. Without properly functioning pyrofuses, the vehicle's electrical safety system could not operate correctly. This also revealed how interconnected modern vehicles have become. One damaged component can trigger warning lights, disable systems, and create major challenges during repairs. For viewers, these details made the rebuild fascinating because they combined technical education with real-world drama. Instead of simply hearing about how a Bugatti works in theory, audiences watch mechanics and engineers struggle with actual problems in real time. That level of transparency is rare in the luxury automotive world, which is one reason why Mat Armstrong's content continues attracting millions of viewers. The debate surrounding the Mercedes-branded component also revealed how strongly branding influences people's emotions when it comes to luxury products. Many people buy expensive items not only because of performance or quality, but because of the image and exclusivity connected to the brand name itself. Bugatti represents extreme luxury, speed, wealth, and engineering prestige. The company carefully builds an image of perfection around its vehicles. Because of this, some viewers felt disappointed when they learned that at least one hidden component inside the Chiron appeared connected to Mercedes-Benz. To them, it felt like discovering that an expensive designer watch contained parts from a cheaper product. However, this reaction is often based more on perception than reality. In the engineering world, what matters most is whether a component performs its job safely and reliably. Car companies did not always design every tiny piece themselves because doing so would dramatically increase costs and development time without necessarily improving performance. Instead, manufacturers focus their resources on the areas that define the vehicle's character, such as the engine, chassis, aerodynamics, suspension, and driving experience. The Bugatti Chiron still remains an incredible engineering achievement, regardless of where certain hidden electrical components originated. Its quad-turbocharged W16 engine, advanced aerodynamics, and extraordinary speed capabilities are still among the most impressive accomplishments in automotive history. Yet the controversy demonstrates how strongly people connect exclusivity with value. When customers spend millions on a hypercar, they often expect every detail to feel unique and custom-made. Discovering shared components can make some owners question whether the car is truly as special as they imagined. At the same time, other enthusiasts argue that shared parts are actually a smart engineering decision because they allow manufacturers to use proven, tested systems instead of reinventing every small component from scratch. This disagreement explains why the topic became so controversial online. Some viewers focused on branding and exclusivity, while others focus on practicality and engineering efficiency. Both perspectives are understandable, which is why the conversation continued spreading across YouTube, forums, and social media long after the original discovery was shown in the rebuild video. In the end, the discovery of a Mercedes-branded component inside a Bugatti Chiron says less about deception and more about the hidden realities of modern automotive engineering. The internet often reacts dramatically whenever luxury brands appear connected to mainstream manufacturers, but the truth is that today's automotive industry relies heavily on shared suppliers, partnerships, and standardized technologies. Even the most exclusive hypercars cannot escape the practical realities of manufacturing complex machines filled with advanced electronics and safety systems. What matters most is not necessarily who supplied one hidden part, but how the entire vehicle performs as a complete package. The Bugatti Chiron remains one of the fastest, most advanced, and most desirable hypercars ever created. A shared pyroFuse component does not suddenly change its engineering achievements or performance capabilities. However, the discovery became fascinating because it gave ordinary viewers a rare glimpse behind the curtain of the luxury car world. Through Mat Armstrong's Rebuild series, audiences saw that even multi-million-dollar vehicles contain ordinary-looking components, hidden suppliers, and unexpected engineering decisions. The story also highlighted the incredible complexity of modern automotive safety systems. Something as small as a pyroFuse can play a life-saving role during accidents by disconnecting dangerous electrical power within milliseconds. At the same time, the strange behavior of the Chiron's pyrofuses raised interesting technical questions about how different manufacturers calibrate their crash systems and safety responses. Ultimately, this controversy became popular not because a Bugatti used a Mercedes part, but because it challenged people's assumptions about exclusivity, engineering, and luxury branding. It reminded viewers that behind every glamorous hypercar exists a complicated network of suppliers, safety regulations, manufacturing decisions, and engineering compromises. For automotive enthusiasts, that hidden reality can actually make these machines even more interesting. Instead of destroying the magic surrounding Bugatti, the rebuild revealed how much work, technology, and collaboration are required to create one of the world's greatest performance cars. And thanks to creators like Mat Armstrong, millions of viewers now have the chance to see those hidden details for themselves rather than simply believing the polished marketing image presented by luxury manufacturers.